Hey, good morning and good afternoon to some. Wanted to come back on here again. I am coming to you guys live from Marion, Alabama. As you see right there, they got the Jimmy Lee Jackson memorial right there in front of the Perry County courthouse in Marion, Alabama. So back in Marion, Alabama, getting ready to travel back to Georgia in my preparations of moving back home. But I wanted to jump on here today and I wanted to talk about a topic. The topic I wanted to talk about today was you don't have to like change to embrace it and benefit from it. And I wanted to say that because with everything that's been going on, everything that's been addressed, the awareness that's been raised in the community, I understand that, everybody don't like it. And that's a good thing. Everybody's not going to like it. You don't want everybody to think the same way. But what the point that I want to make is, just because you don't like it, that doesn't mean that you can't embrace change and you can't benefit from it. Because I think that's a misnomer. And one of the things I say I think it's a misnomer is because so many times what people do, a lot of us react emotionally about things, especially when it's things that are locally. But we react emotionally and we don't be honest with ourselves or challenge ourselves to really get down to the root of why, right? And why do I don't like, most of the things I'm addressing this, most of the stuff, when you sit down and think about it, most of the things people become upset about, especially when you're talking about change, is they fear the unknown of what is coming. Now, there's a lot of people who may desire change. They may make New Year's resolution. They want to lose weight. They want to, they say they want to lose weight. They say they want to make better decisions. They say they want to not drink as much. They say they want to do all of these things. But when it comes to putting the work in to do it, what tends to happen is, okay, say I want to lose weight. So I go to the gym one time and I go to the gym and I get it in. But the next day I wake up, my body's hurting. My muscles are hurting. It's hard for me to walk up and down the stairs, right? Now, I'm not used to that. That's something I'm not used to. So because I'm not used to it, then what people tend to do is they tend to shy away from it. They'll work through the few days of it being uncomfortable, instead of realizing that pain that they are feeling, that frustration, that irritation that they're feeling in their body is really their body muscles being broken down and being rebuilt to prepare them to do it better and better the next time. The thing that a lot of people don't realize is when we're talking about change and we're talking about doing something different than what we've always done, a lot of people get fearful. And that's the God honest truth. A lot of people get fearful, and what they end up doing is when people become fearful of something, the natural inclination is to attack. The natural inclination is to attack, to discredit, to make it go away, so that consciously I can feel comfortable enough to go back. And even though I'm frustrated with what I'm dealing with right now, I'm frustrated with the reality of my right now. Even though I'm frustrated with the reality of my right now, at least I'm familiar with it. So now I don't want to deal with the unknown of what's coming. But even though I realize that there's possibility to be better, and I'm going to use this analogy. And I know I'm talking around, but I'm going to get to it. I just wanted to talk about this and use this analogy. It's like you got two people. One person grew up in an environment of love, that they were loved, that they were supported, that they were nurtured. They didn't have to worry about, they came from a stable background. You got another person. They grew up in an environment of survival. They grew up in an environment where, it was instability. They didn't get support. They didn't get that affirmation They didn't get the love and support. They literally was on their own. So they grew up with a survival mindset. And you got somebody that grew up in a love mindset. Those two people get in a relationship. Most of the time, they are drawn to each other, and it is a genuine attraction. But when those times comes where they got to, and those hard times and those difficult times, good morning, Pam, how you doing? In those hard times and those difficult times, the person who grew up in love, because they grew up in an environment where they had stability, they had support, they have a different way of looking at the world or looking at situations than somebody that grew up with a mindset of survival. And to somebody that grew up with a mindset of survival, it's hard for them to trust people. It's hard for them to depend on somebody else. It's hard for them to believe in anything better because they have been conditioned to everything that I believed that was going to be better. Nobody came through. So that's their viewpoint. Now, you may say, Robert, why are you talking about that? There's a lot of people in Perry County, back in the Black Belt, who have a survival mindset. Who have a survival mindset of, man, ain't nothing gonna get better. Everything always been the way that it's been. You know, ain't no need to talk about nothing getting better. So ain't no all of that just mess. You just trying to disrupt what we got going on around here. No. We are in survival mode because we have allowed people to do certain things and go unheld, not be held accountable. And I want people to realize that. And I'm speaking from it from a psychological standpoint. If you look it up, so psychologists and sociologists, they have a term that is called culture of poverty. A culture of poverty is a term that is derived to describe the mindset of people who grew up in a poverty mindset. And what I mean, they grew up in an environment where it was poverty. There was a lot of poverty. So what it is you take somebody that grew up in poverty, you take somebody that grew up, and I'm using this and I'm being honest with you, this is what it is. You take somebody that grew up in public housing and they get benefits and they on with low income. What tends to happen is they family grow up in that. So when they family get older, when they family grow up in it, then the kids tend to stay in the same environment. Then their grandkids stay in the same environment. You know why? Because the mindset becomes, even though I'm in poverty, even though I don't like the conditions that I have in poverty, the mindset comes in is, hey, you don't want to do nothing to mess up these benefits. So even though they may have the ability to go out and earn a higher income, they may have the ability to go out and do great things, they condition to stay where they at. And it passed on from generation to generation. Now, that's not a knock against those programs. I'm talking about the mindset. I'm talking about the mindset. And one of the things I talked about yesterday, I think it was yesterday, the other day, what I talked about the other day, day before yesterday. One thing that I talked about was how they pander and they use race. They use race. And I'm going to speak on this, and I'm going to continue to speak on this, because what I am speaking is factual. This is not propaganda. This is factual. Right? And the reason why I'm speaking on it is I want the community to see the antics and the tools that they play to try to keep us in that mindset. Because the more people that have a poverty mindset, the easier the community is to exploit. The easier the community is to exploit. Let me explain it. Let me take my glasses off. Now I'm going to put my glasses back on. Let me explain it to you. When you have a community that is have a heavy percentage of poverty, it is easier for me to dangle a little money, to me to dangle that I can give you a little something, and people will accept it. It's hard to do that in a community where people don't live in poverty, or people that live above the poverty level. I'm just being honest with you. You know, the problem that we have with a lot of these politicians in Perry County is they are homegrown. Most don't come from money. So when they get in office, what tends to happen is they allegedly compromise their integrity and exploit and take advantage of having access to the community funds. That's why we don't see the improvements on the infrastructure or the roads or all of these things that's being promised. That's why they and then they play on the gullibleness of it. They play on the gullibleness of the community by exploiting them. See, they do things like this. I'm explaining to you. I'm giving y'all the playbook. I'm explaining to you. They do things like, I'm going to give you a job, but it's going to be a city job. But the city job ain't going to have no benefits, and I'm going to barely pay you $10. But I'm going to give you a job. And then I want your family to realize that I gave you a job. But I'm doing that, giving the people's money, just so I can get you and your family to support me when election time come around. But what I don't understand is, instead of doing things the right way. For example, do you guys know that the city of Uniontown has 18 people under the sanitation department? Do you guys know that the city of Uniontown, with the population about 1,800 people, has 18 people that work in the sanitation department? 18. Now I'm about to look up something real quick. Just so I just want to make sure that I got the right information. The city of Uniontown, with the estimated population of 1,800 people, has 18 people that work on the sanitation in the sanitation department. 18 people. The city of Demopolis, with a population of about 7,500, have less people on their sanitation, working in their sanitation department, than the city of Uniontown. Now explain this to me. If Demopolis got 3.5 times more people than the city of Uniontown, why can they handle doing their sanitation stuff with less people than the city of Uniontown do? Now this what the counter gonna be. This ain't about people, jobs, or anything like that. I'm just talking facts. People will argue, say, oh man, but they giving people jobs. They're paying the sanitation. Do y'all know that the city of Uniontown pays out more money for their payroll for sanitation workers than they bring in to the city every year? Now, from a business standpoint, how smart is that? If you, all the business owners, people that got businesses out there, would your payroll be more than your revenue that you bring in? What sense does that make? What would be smart is you reduce the number of workers that you have on the sanitation to reduce payroll. And then you can take the money that you were spending the payroll and increase their pay for the individuals from $9.50 an hour to up to like 12 or 13. Or you could take that money and then you could offer benefits. So now the people got some type of benefits from the city that's working it. And I want people to understand this. See, this is where nepotism come in at. I know somebody tried to use the word nepotism, said that I had nepotism against Albert Turner because he's a powerful man in Perry County, and I kindly informed them that that wasn't what nepotism meant. But people use their offices to give people jobs for political favors. They do it all the time. Now, I would tell you this. If you sit down and think about it, it makes complete sense. From a business perspective, that makes complete sense. From an operational perspective, that makes complete sense. And those are the things where I'm talking about solutions to make the community better. But you know, you're going to have people who are going to try to spin the narrative and change it and turn it into everything. just like my boy Albert Turner did yesterday. Albert yesterday, that's supposed to have been a Jimmy Lee Jackson event that they're celebrating the 61st anniversary of Jimmy Lee Jackson martyr, that was the catalyst to the Selma to Montgomery March, Bloody Sunday, and a lot of things that was done that led to this, the Voting Rights Act, that led to the Civil Rights Movement. It was a catalyst to do that. Instead of honoring him, the same thing he did with Dr. Martin Luther King breakfast, and it's supposed to have been a celebration, Dr. Martin Luther King breakfast celebration and unity breakfast. This man turned it into a campaign for himself, where he spent the majority of the time talking about me. And I understand, Albert, say my name. Don't be getting up there and doing all of that stuff. Say my name. Don't be a coward. Say my name. I'm calling your name out. I'm going to tell you how it's me. I'm going to tell you what he said. If you go to Miss Kimberly Cosby, she did the live yesterday, and that's why I was able to watch it. You'll hear Albert saying things like, and I'm going to tell you what, look, I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but it's called ad hominem fallacy. But this is what Albert does, right? This is what Albert does. Albert made a post the other day that he secured $6 million. He put $6.5 million for Perry County. I shared a post right after that. I went live and shared a post showing that was misleading, that he wasn't the one responsible for it. I shared the press release from ADECA that showed that Perry County got a $1.05 million grant to redo redo the culverts and the road project for County Road 53. I also shared information that the person that was responsible for that, the people that were responsible for it, was former Commissioner Cedric Hudson, and then current Vice Chairman on the Perry County Commission, Carlton Lewis, was the one who finished that work, did all of the stuff, and Albert was the one who just signed it. And I got a copy of that application that I will share so people can see that it was signed in July of 2025 by Albert and Beverly Gordon, because there was a signature that was on it that had to be submitted up to ADECA. It wasn't Albert. Albert didn't do the work, but he took credit for it. Albert also said that he got $5 million for the city of Uniontown. He said that. Albert didn't have nothing to do with that. That was Cedric Hudson working with the Uniontown HUD department representatives to do that grant. And I already shared back in July, they had a city meeting that my sister Portia did a recap on. And I shared the information on there when she said that it was spearheaded by Cedric Hudson and the design of those houses were done by LaQuincy May. But Albert got on there and said that like he was responsible for it. Now yesterday at the event, Albert got on there and said people said he's stealing. Albert, you know I ain't never say you stealing. Why are you trying to change that up? I never said you stole anything. What is that, your guilty conscience? Because you always said that. You said it at the Martin Luther King breakfast. People said like me. People said like I got $200-something million in my pocket. I got a couple million, but I ain't been stealing. Albert, I never said on here, on all the posts, I never said you stole anything. So if your guilty conscience is kicking in, that's something you got to deal with, my boy. And you know what you can do? You can get out my face, my boy, with all of them lies. I'm going to show you to you again. You can get out my face, my boy, with all of them lies. And that's what you do. And then you go on. I got to drink something because I don't want my voice to crack up. But he get on there and was talking, I didn't leave, you know. I didn't leave. I stayed here. I didn't have to leave. I stayed here. And don't let no outsider come back and stir up trouble. Because I didn't leave. I stayed here. Don't let no people, y'all know me. Y'all know my brand. Y'all know my brand of integrity, of accountability. I know some people want me to turn water into wine. No, Albert, they just want you to turn dirty water into clean water. They want you to turn dirty water into clean water. Albert, why do you keep talking about me? You don't never answer nothing that I ask. Why do you keep talking about me in political forms? If I'm Albert, this is a question that I want to ask you, my boy. If I'm not important enough to make you move, if you're gonna ask, who are you? When we was at the December Uniontown City Council meeting, who are you? Who are you? While I was talking, you know who I am now, don't you? Don't you know, my boy? I know you know who I is. You knew who I was before. You know exactly who I am. And it's so amazing that this outsider got you jumping around and doing things you promised the community that you were supposed to do years ago. It's amazing what accountability do. It's amazing when the community see what's going on. It's amazing, my boy, when you just can't lie no more and put a lie out. Oh, Albert, too. I heard there was 30 people at that event yesterday. They said it wasn't even 30 people. I thought, hey, and Albert, I heard what you said. The guest of honor, the mayor of Montgomery, Mayor Reed, he didn't make it to the event. I know his dad was there, but he didn't make it to the event. You said during the thing that, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard you correctly. You said I received a text message, and received a text message, and Mayor Reed is he's stuck in the airport in California. Yeah, he's stuck in the airport in California. Yeah. And I tell you, I highly recommend y'all go and watch that. That is on Kimberly Cosby. Her Facebook page. She went live yesterday. One of the things that was disturbing, and I'm gonna say it from Mr. Reed. I think he's the father of the mayor of Montgomery. He said something that it's disturbing, and it's flat out disturbing. He said, even if you don't like Albert Turner, you need to vote for him for unity. The lies you tell. The lies you tell. See, I told y'all, they play on the old coattail of civil rights movement. I just want people to understand this. I want people to understand this. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use some examples. Barack Obama graduated law school. Actually passed the bar. And started working in the community in Chicago. Doing grassroots works. A few years later, he ran and won state senator. A few years later, he was the president. To about 10, 15 years. Albert Turner Albert Fitzgerald Turner said he graduated law school. I don't know if he passed the bar yet, but I don't see that anything that said that he's practicing law. Was working for ADECA. I believe was terminated from ADECA, or, there was I do know that there was some type of harassment charge. And he ended up leaving ADECA. Around that same time, the tragic passing of his father, and Governor Singleman appointed Albert as the chairman, not the chairman, onto the county commission, Perry County Commission. That was in 2000. In 2000 was the same year I joined the military. That's the year, February 2000, the same year I joined the military. So since 2000, the only political office Albert Turner has held has been representing District 1 in the Perry County Commission. That's it. He stayed on the Perry County Commission, District 1. A failed attempt to run for probate judge, 2 times failed attempt to run for mayor. If Albert was so good, he would have been up in D.C. somewhere right now. But Albert, I'm gonna give you a parallel analysis, my boy. I joined the Army in February of 2000. In April of 2000, I got promoted at basic training. I was the one person out of all the basic training that they selected to be promoted for my performance, for excellence. Fast forward. In November of the same year of 2000, I got promoted to private first class. Fast forward. The next year, 2001, got promoted to specialist. The next year, 2002, in July 1st, 2002, I got promoted to sergeant. So I made sergeant in 2 years. Fast forward to Albert, 2004, I got my 6th promotion. Well, I made staff sergeant in 4 years and 4 months. Fast forward, Albert, to 8 years. 4 more years after that, I got promoted to sergeant first class. So that's my 7th promotion. In 7 years, in 8 years. Comparably to you still in the same position you got elected to 25 years ago. Fast forward, Albert, I got selected for the Army Green and Gold program, where the Army paid me for 2 years to go be a college student and commissioned as a lieutenant. Fast forward 2 more years, Albert. In 2010, I got promoted to 2nd lieutenant. Fast forward after that, 2 years after that, in 2012, I got promoted to 1st lieutenant. Fast forward after that, Albert, 2014, I got promoted to captain. So, Albert, that was 7, 8, 9, 10 promotions in 14 years for excellence. And then you fast forward my last promotion, 7 years later, to major. So 11 promotions in 21 years for excellence. I wasn't appointed. I didn't have to scheme people. I didn't have to hustle people. I didn't have to try to grease their palms with absentee ballots. Right? And guess what, Albert? I've actively supported the community with my own money. I ain't using the county money to do my dealing so I can take credit like I'm doing something. I ain't using no campaign funds to do stuff for the community. I'm using my money. I've used my money. And Albert, you got on the radio yesterday and gonna lie because I want everybody to understand I keep receipts, right? The first mention in the Abbott talking about baseball league was in his post that he came back talking about he putting the lights up. He got the funding for the lights. And he putting the lights up. After I called him out for his inactions for 565 days and not doing nothing, then he jumped up after that. But Albert got up and talked about at the time he said Major League Baseball. And Albert, I want to let you know this. I'm going to correct you. If you're going to put information out, make sure you put it out correctly. It's not the Montgomery Barons. It's the Birmingham Bears. I think the Montgomery team called the Montgomery Biscuits. So if you're talking to the people that represent the Negro Leagues, Albert, I've been to the Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City. Albert, do you also know this, my boy? Larry Long, Pastor Larry Long, who's a host on the Black Belt Experience show, last year, I think it was, 2 years ago. Last year, there was some issues with Little League in Greensboro. There was at the threat for not having a baseball league. Albert, do you know Larry worked with the Park and Recreation Board of the city, talked with the people, and within 2 weeks time period, got people to donate. One of myself was the ones who donated, and the community came together and they was able to have a baseball league within a 3-week time period. They didn't have to take months and months and months, and you talking to all these. Look, Albert always got to put himself talking to somebody big, and you don't never see no results of it. And if I call it out, people gonna come back and be like, well, at least he's trying. No, he's not. He's not trying. He's just lying. He's not trying. He's just lying. He's not trying. He's just lying. Hey, he's not trying. He's just lying. Hey, that's just what that is. That's what that is. It's all an attempt to try to make people think that he's doing something. My thing is, where are the results? Where are the results? Where are the results? And I'm just being honest with you. Keep Big Al working for you. No, listen, y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think I'm joking. I have never said that Albert Turner stole anything, but he keep bringing it up. You know why? Because he want to create a narrative to make everybody think that I'm saying that he's stealing. Man, go back to my post. Look at the facts. And Albert said, he said at the event yesterday, I can't remember if it was on the radio at the event. Oh, I think it was at the event. He was like, why am I going to respond to all of these lies and false allegations that people putting out on the internet and Facebook man, Albert, it's your words. Look, I shared a video this morning that I just did a compilation of the 3 videos I did about Cedar Bluff Road. And in that video, I did screenshots of Albert's words of what his promises was about Cedar Bluff Road. The man said that Cedar Bluff Road was going to be completed on the September the 5th post. He said that Cedar Bluff Road was going to be completed at the beginning of October. That's what he said. If you go to the reel that I shared this morning on my page, you will see it. It's crazy work. Crazy work. I'm telling y'all, man. And the reason why I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to understand this. And I want y'all to understand it clear. People, these elected officials around here, they scared, y'all. They really scared. Those that have been doing wrong are scared as HE double hockey stick. As they should be. As they should be. Look, man, nobody's sitting around waiting. Nobody's sitting around waiting for stuff not to get done. Y'all work for us. Y'all work for us. You all work for us. And just like I said this morning, I said more empty promises with no results for Cedar Bluff Road in Uniontown, Alabama. Right? From elected officials in Perry County. It's been beyond time for the community to hold these people accountable for fulfilling all promises made to get elected. Accountability and transparency are no longer options. If you guys think I'm joking, I want the community to think about this. Listen, I'm telling y'all, if you guys want to see something happen quick, y'all want to see something shake, on the nights that they have these city council meetings and that they have these county commission meetings, pack the house. Pack the house. Make them have to make accommodations in other places because the community is there. They got Zion Church right here that they can come right down the street to hold it, to hold the amount of people. Because guess what? Let your voice be known. And you guys think, I promise you, if the community do that, watch these roads start getting paid. But I'm telling y'all right now, for everybody that's talking about what you can prove and what evidence you got, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. What that little girl said on that meme, she was sitting in the back seat and she was trying to buckle up and the daddy was like, you want me to help you? She said, no, worry about yourself. Why you worry about evidence? Are you scared? Are you scared? Are you scared for what that black and white say? Are you scared for what that letter say? What them screenshots say? What that contract say? What that bid say? What that invoice say? Huh? Are you scared? I'm just being honest with you. That's a question. I'm just asking. Are you scared? Ain't no need to be scared when you know what you did. When you already know what you did, why be scared? Stand on business. The same way you stood on business to do wrong, allegedly do wrong, stand on business to be account for. Right? And then I'm being honest with you. I'm talking directly to Albert Fitzgerald Turner. Man, stop talking about me and not saying my name. Say my name. You know my name. I'm calling you out every time. Say my name. I'm not an outsider. You know that. What's going to change, Albert, when I get my driver's license, I'm registered to vote? I may even move to District 1. You want me to help you with your campaign? You want me to help you with your campaign? Albert said on the radio, I was encouraged. I was encouraged to when I was campaigning, and I was encouraged because people were saying that they ain't paying attention to all of that noise and all of the lies that's been put out about me. I was encouraged. They said that they ain't listen to that outsider. I know he providing facts, and he telling the truth, because that's why I ain't never rebuttal. I ain't say nothing to him, and I ain't sue him yet, because I can't sue him because he using my words, dadgummit, but I ain't worried about him. I ain't worried about him. I'm not worried about him. He's a nobody who got me scared. He's a nobody who got me shimmering. He's a nobody who got me about to lose my office in the courthouse. Because I know I don't belong, but I want to make myself feel important. I'm the chairman of the commission. I'm the chief lawmaker around in these parts. They got to bow down to me. Because I'm important. Albert? In the words of Viola Davis and her character on The Help. I'm going to remix it a little bit. She told that little girl, you is kind, you is smart, you is important. But I got a remix for you, Albert. You tell lies, you like to deceive, and you are a coward. I'm going to say that again. You tell lies, you like to deceive, and you are a coward. And I'm talking 100% of your actions as an elected official. Because, Albert, I ain't going to claim that I don't know you personally. There's no desire to get to know you personally. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm just telling you like it is. I told you, man, the best thing for you to do is just go ahead on and take your seat. And Albert, I want you to understand this, right? You've done a lot of people dirty. You've lied, you manipulated, and done a lot of people dirty in the capacity as a commissioner on the Perry County Commission. And the truth is coming out. What they say, what done in the dark will always come to the light. The truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. And I want you to understand that. And that's not just to Albert Turner. That's all these elected officials right here. If you did something of dirt and you did something dirty, the truth is coming out. You can try to get rid of all the records you want to. I told you this was divine. God make a way. God made water come out of a rock. You don't think God would make a way? But that song said, the Lord will make a way somehow. Yeah, God gonna make a way. I'm just telling you, God gonna make a way. And I'm letting you know, ain't no praying, ain't none of all of that stuff gonna help. You just need to go ahead on, repent, and understand God's grace, God's mercy, still don't mean that it eliminates accountability. And to I want to read something to you. The word of the day. The word of the day is ad hominem fallacy. An ad hominem fallacy is when someone insults the person making an argument instead of answering what the person said. They try to make the argument seem wrong by making the speaker look bad. An example. Instead of answering Robert Lovejoy Shepard's concerns and not Robert Shepard Jr., Perry County Commission Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner called him an outsider and may have spread rumors about his family to make people not trust him. You know, I stayed. I didn't have to leave. Hey, Albert, I left because I didn't have to rob my people to make a living for myself. Allegedly. It's crazy. It's crazy. Y'all seen the insults. Y'all seen all of that. And that's just what it is. That right there is what it is. And, you know, I just want people to see the truth. And this is what accountability looks like. It's what accountability looks like. It's what accountability looks like. I tell you, man, and for the people, this for the people. For the people that love to say it be your own kind. Because a lot of people, I've seen somebody make posts like that. It be your own kind, man. You just tearing this man down. How am I taking his words and showing where he is lying, providing proof that he is lying. He is the one that's been lying and misleading the people. How is me tearing him down when it was his words that lied? Please make that make sense. Please make that make sense. Oh, it just be your own kind. Frat. And I would just tell you, wow, Jimmy Lee Jackson's sister wasn't even there. But I would tell you this, how much respect is it for these people that Albert claimed to hold in high regard? And I want y'all to understand this. Look, we got Black History Month. Going back to Martin Luther King breakfast, he made that about his own political campaign. It wasn't nothing about no Martin Luther King. I'm just saying it wasn't nothing about it. It was a song. It was a few quotes that people made. The guest speaker did a good job, but it was more of a church service than it was recognizing Martin Luther King and about unity, because Albert spent the whole time talking about, I'm trying to steal people hope by telling them the truth. Y'all know me. Yeah, everybody knows, they know exactly who you are. Then for Jimmy Lee Jackson, you claim to have all this respect for Jimmy Lee Jackson and all this stuff for the Perry County Civic League, and you got it there and you talked about you. Because you always do that. Then for Black History Month, y'all remember on the 10th, Albert got up there to do a Black History spotlight on Coach Woody Jackson, and then turn around and lie on Coach Woody Jackson like he endorsed him, and Coach Woody Jackson called him, told him take it down right now. And then Albert throw Miss Thomas' name up there. Only thing he did was replace Coach Woody Jackson's name with her name and threw her picture up there. I know for a fact she probably ain't give no permission to do that. But that's what he does. If this man would lie on people that he say he would celebrate and would use them for his own good, for these allegedly civil rights, not alleged, but these civil rights icons, what do you think he'll do for you? This man was the one responsible for not even allowing Jimmy Lee Jackson to have their own highway named after him. He had to throw Albert Turner on there. And if you look up the address for the address on it, it says the Albert Turner Sr. Memorial Highway. Jimmy Lee Jackson ain't even mentioned on it. If he really cared the way that they said that he cared, then he would have never done that disrespectful thing to him. He never would have done it. But he doesn't care. Only thing he cares about is himself. And I know people gonna support him. I know people gonna go vote for him. But like I said before, the inflation going up on them absentee ballots. Inflation going up. And I'm gonna share another post about absentee ballots. And you will see that in Alabama, for the last, from 2020, 2021, 2022 and 2024, because the Secretary of State, they only do the numbers on even years. So they'll do one this year. You will see the numbers. You will see that Perry County, from every year, Perry County has either the highest or the second highest rate of absentee ballots in the state. And the thing I want people to look at is, too, I'm going to give an assessment on the number of what the population was compared to the number of registered voters in Perry County. Because the national average is like 75.6%, 76% of the people that are eligible, of age, eligible to vote, are registered to vote. Perry County, 96% in 2000, 98% in 2002, and I think 2024 it was close to 100%. Now I want people to understand this. What I am also going to share is the number of students that Perry County has in Perry County schools. So that I just want y'all to think about it. If Perry County have 7,000, I'm going to say if Perry County have 8,000 people, are 96, 98% of those people eligible of age to vote? So that means that only 2% are younger than 18. Well, what about all these kids in school? Y'all see what I'm saying? And when you sit down and you look at that stuff, and it start to make sense. And then you compare how many absentee ballots. 2020 was a little different because of COVID. When you look at 2022 and 2023, and you see Perry County got 7,800 people, but they got 700, almost 800 people for absentee ballots. And they got 7,800 people in the county. But then I go look at Tuscaloosa County, they got 230,000. And Perry County got just as many or as more absentee ballots. Some in the milk ain't clean. Some in the milk ain't clean. Something in the milk is not clean. But man, I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. I hope you guys stay blessed, stay motivated. Understand this. Exposure leads to expansion, and we educate to elevate. That is the thing. That's what it always been. No matter what, we're going to keep pushing through. If I've misspoken, please provide me with information to show that I was wrong. I would gladly come back on and tell the world that I was wrong. But man, y'all stay motivated, stay blessed, and know that you are loved, and know that change is coming. Accountability is coming. Accountability is coming. You guys have a blessed day.